Hey, we're back.
We're back.
We're Black and White Randomz podcast. I'm T, aka Sky. This is
Trish.
all right. So, pretty much podcast where we throw a bunch. Well, I specifically throw out a bunch of random topics at Trish.
Mm-hmm.
We generally had some opinions about it one way or another.
Right.
And all right, we'll get this thing started.
Yeah.
All right.
What you got this week?
All right. So first things first.
Okay.
Have you seen the NBA analyst? Her name is Michelle Beatty. Apparently, she's catching a little bit of flack right now for using the N word on air.
I heard about it. I didn't watch it, but I heard what happened.
To me, like I'm pretty sure she did not say that on purpose. Like watching the actual clip,
Yes.
I think people more so got mad at the two gentlemen that were on that show with her, because they found humor in it. Because of how like she mulled over. They were like, you pretty much like they was like, yeah, you had problems after this air, like, and then like she continued on because like she screwed up the Denver Nuggets name, which is how she got to the N word.
What?
Yeah,
See, like I said, I didn't watch it. All I know is she was. So was she reading a tweet? Was it a tweet? I think it was.
I don't remember if it was an actual tweet or not, but it definitely was something about the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
And all I remember is like the two co-hosts or whatever that were on there with her pretty much found humor in it. And I feel like they tried to laugh it off, but people took it like it wasn't funny at all. Like, how did you go from Nuggets to that? I don't know.
I don't know, because I remember seeing this thing like she was reading a tweet and it was part of the tweet and she or the comment or something.
So it probably was a tweet or
she
comment,
just bowled through it without like
Mm-hmm.
Clearly she didn't read ahead. She just went for it.
Well, I mean, it's a sports podcast. Like, once you seen Denver, you should have known Nuggets was coming after. Denver doesn't have that many teams for you to be like,
yeah.
Especially if they were on the topic of basketball. Like,
yeah, I feel like this might be an instance where it was she did not really mean for that to happen.
I feel like she had a whole brain fart, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like because it was
but
a
it's still
black
not
guy
okay.
on there, he kind of like caught flack for like brushing it off. Like he tried to make light of the situation to make her not feel uncomfortable. Yeah, but in hindsight, they were really making her feel uncomfortable because they just kept laughing.
They kept going. Yeah. But sometimes someone won't let something go. It makes it worse.
And I mean, they didn't like drag it out, but they had a couple little punches in there, whatever, punchlines, whatever.
Yeah, but that's unnecessary. I feel like that was unnecessary.
Yeah, it pretty much was like, dang, that's not gonna go over well. Was the joke?
It's not. It's not. That's true. But let it go. Like you gotta move on.
Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. So here we go.
Okay.
Next topic of discussion. Which one of these bugs has to go?
Oh shit.
All right.
Okay.
Mosquitoes, gnats, roaches, or spiders. And I feel like our opinion, we might come up. We're either gonna be directly spot on, or I don't know.
I'm stuck on two. I think you might be too. I know what my personal answer is,
but
also I feel like for the collective whole, it should be a different answer. But them mosquitoes.
Okay, yeah.
I get
we definitely different on this one.
Like I said, personally, but like for the collective good, it's a different answer. But personally, just me, mosquitoes. Collective good though, the roaches gotta go.
I feel like the logical answer here, to be honest, because is roaches. And the reason why I say this is everything else you have bug spray,
you're right.
They in the circle of life on this planet, they do other things.
Yeah, they don't do shit.
Right. Roaches are literally just here because God knows
why.
Nerves. Like he dropped them here, and like for real, first of all, they can survive inside a microwave. Like, what is that? You turn them, like, come on, bro. Like, there's just so much. And then, like, once you cannot get rid of them up. Like, for nothing in this world, at least a mosquito, you could potentially, like,
kill one. That's very true. Like
it's done. If you see one roach, it's probably many.
The collective good answer is absolutely roaches. That's the collective roaches. Good answer.
I'm sorry. Mosquitoes, you could at least buy you like some deep wood, like the off deep woods or whatever that is. That seems to work pretty good.
They transmit disease though too when they bite. Like they transmit disease though when they bite. Like they can.
They can. It's possible, yes.
Absolutely, the collective good answer is definitely.
But I feel like
them
roaches carry disease as well.
They absolutely
like
do.
So at the end of the day,
things.
I'm going with roaches.
They got
because
they do.
You see one, it is many.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's many more coming after that. Like many,
I don't
many,
understand how they just always. As soon as you see one, that it's a wrap. You know, the gnats you can even buy like one of they can get zapped, the fly zappers, whatever. The spiders, same thing. There's repellent, or not repellent, but you can literally get an exterminator for spiders or whatever.
Yeah, now
maybe not if you live in Australia, because them things about big as this bar back here,
bigger than your hand. Yeah. Now my childhood best friend, she was petrified of spiders. She used to make me come over to kill the spiders in her house or get rid of them for her. She was that scared.
Oh, there's quite a few.
She would call me to come over just to get the spider out of her room. And I would go. But there are some people who are truly deathly afraid of spiders, and their answer would be spiders.
But you notice they're also the ones that are misinformed about spiders as well.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
You know, they don't. Every spider is evil to them. I'm like, they
no,
all
they're
are
not
created.
They're not all. Some of your house spiders are not actually bad. But,
exactly. Yeah. Alrighty. So we're gonna steamroll into this next topic. We're starting to settle in, y'all.
Uh-oh.
All right. So this kind of came up in one of the previous podcasts, probably one from last week, but it wasn't to this extent.
Okay.
All right. So biracial kids, right? Saying the white side doesn't believe in race mixing, and this is a specific podcast. Although there was many that came underneath her post or whatever and stated they had similar experiences with the white side not believing, and I'm not saying there's not some black families that also probably don't, but as far as the race mixing is concerned, they don't deal with her nor her siblings or whatnot.
Actually, that was episode 7. That was episode 17. We're talking about, y'all, for the record.
Okay, so it was a couple episodes ago.
Yeah. So
all right. So the main thing behind this is, so she never really had a desire to know the white side of her family.
Okay.
However, somebody, she didn't mention who, on the white side of her family, ended up at some point coming around.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
She ended up developing some type of relationship with, I guess, this specific relative, and it was a topic of conversation at some point about, he was like, maybe you could come around, the other side. She's like, yeah, nah, probably not, whatever. And it came up that she was white passing, she could pass for white.
Right.
So it would probably be okay with them because you aren't as dark. And she was like, first of all, regardless if I wasn't dark or not, I don't want to meet them. And second of all, how's that supposed to make my siblings feel? She was like, because I have a couple siblings that are, darker than me or whatever, just because I'm white passing to you. And to be honest, the girl, she might have been fair skinned. I wouldn't necessarily say she was white passing. She was you could tell she definitely was mixed with something to me. I don't know. Okay. It could have just been the summer she got tamed. I don't know.
Right. That would probably be the thing that the family will go with.
But he was adamant about her meeting the other side, and she was like, listen, I had to cut ties with him because some other things went on. Right. And we'll probably continue that discussion another day, because I'm pretty sure I'll find the rest of that probably at a point. But I don't understand it, because I'm like, bro, I don't care if you white passing or not. Yeah. How's that supposed to make somebody that's biracial feel? Because you told them they were white passing. Yeah. Unless they wanted to appeal to their white side more.
You think it's supposed to make them feel good, but in reality, what you do is you make them feel bad. Because you're literally trying to get them to deny half of their makeup, their genetic makeup. And if she wasn't raised with that side of her family, you're telling her to project her culture too. For you, because you want her to get the hell out of here.
Nah. But I just found that to be one of those things where it's who raised you people? What is the point? I feel like a lot of biracial kids, mixed kids, to a certain extent, now it's a lot more of them around, sporadically. But depending on the area you grew up in, you could potentially be one of the only mixed or biracial kids. And I feel like a lot of them have identity crisis when they grow up like that.
A lot of them do, yeah. A lot of them do.
It is what it is, but
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
bullshit.
I just felt like that was just a odd and weird topic.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop that.
Y'all, please stop.
All right.
All right, this is gonna take a little bit, so I'm just gonna let you know.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna have a question first, and then I'm gonna have a rate. So I want you to answer your full answer of what you think it might be. So, what do you think might be some hobbies that keep you sound in your feminine or your feminine energy, like things that you might do, without thinking about it, they are feminine. And I mean specifically, like what categories? Like, give me 3 categories that you think that fall under feminine hobbies. Like, which 3 categories would you be like?
Like, for whatever reason, my first one is something like a hobby, like a crochet or a crafting, some kind of thing.
What does that fall under? That's a descriptor of a specific type of category.
You said a category. That's a category.
No. You got to go to the thing before that. Like, what is that?
Crafting,
right?
Yeah.
So, as a feminine, if you were going to describe an area that you had to put crafting under, crafting could also fall under something like, let's say, maybe like decorating, cooking, stuff like that. What would you put that under?
I mean, I think maybe when you said decorating, because like you make things that decorate your home, things that you wear, things that you can place, blankets and stuff like that. Maybe we put that there.
Cool, but I think a lot of us, because everybody's so busy, like we don't take the time out to have things that fill these 3 categories throughout our week.
Oh, definitely.
So like the 3 categories are creative, physical, and intellectual.
Oh, okay. So that would be creative then, for example.
That would be under the creative category. It's a descriptive of how.
Most women are not making time for any of that.
No. But also, I feel like this happens when we're too business focused, we're too focused on just life in general. Like, people think that you got to spend money and all this other stuff to like adhere to all 3 of those categories, but like you really don't.
No.
Like, there's some that don't require much money at all, or money in general.
Yeah.
And like some of the like the examples that like were given under like the creative category are like shopping, decorating, cooking, baking, wine tasting, finding new recipes, painting, drawing, growing plants and flowers. Some people starting to get into like perfume making and stuff like that. But what I will say is, out of this category, it's funny that they went this specific route with like creative, because I'm more on but see, my creative portion could also fall into physical. So I would say, if anything out of this whole definitely shopping. I could put together some outfits all day. We're going to do what? Yeah. Now, what I'm not going to do is stand in the store all day. I won't do that. I will take my time on this outfit that I want.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's like normal and therapeutic for some women too, to just go shopping. And I feel like guys don't understand it. They're like, that's all she want to do is go shopping. No, not me. They just see it as, because I'm not going to be in the mall all day. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is not a me thing.
Even when we were younger, after a certain point, she was like, we got to go. I'm ready to go. Y'all need to come on, hurry up.
I don't know. The flowers thing, only like a couple types of flowers. So like you don't have to like spend all year trying to figure out what kind of flowers I like. Like, it's literally basic as hell. Like,
not you just called yourself basic.
It's like flowers, yes. If the flower is purple, I'm probably gonna love it. And mainly all of the roses, even the ones that are dyed, like they're cool. I feel like I had tulips and they whatever. Like, I'm not about to go out and just look for some tulips like randomly.
No, you're definitely not.
But I don't know.
Okay, that's an interesting idea.
Now, mind you, I told you should be making time for all 3 of these categories throughout your week. So, physical,
Mhm.
running, jogging, spinning, walking,
Mhm.
Pilates, bar classes, self care rituals, or in like dancing. That can be all styles of
Yeah.
dance, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the reason why, like things like dancing can put you in like a sensual type mood,
Mm.
as well as it's flowing, free flowing, which is the feminine is basically just that.
Okay.
But it's funny because I feel like I don't know. Like right now, like walking gonna be me all year long because
Yeah.
like a lot of my job consists of literally just that. Like I probably walk over 18,000 steps a day at work. Like I'm not
Mhm.
even lying. Like
No,
that's not even an exaggeration.
I've seen the watch at the end of the day.
Um, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
The self care portion,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I feel like for the working female, that's a lot harder than it sounds.
I have to force myself to make proper self care time. Like that all in one shower. Man, that all in one
The
shower be
all in one
hitting
shower
different. Yup, that shower
or
hits
the
different.
everything shower, as some
Yeah,
people know it.
everything shower all in one, whatever. The hits different. But you have to build. You got to build in time for that. Like that's not like you got to build in some time for that.
I don't know. I mean, you definitely do.
Yeah.
Um, so the intellectual portion, things like learning a new language, reading cultural and historical books,
Mm.
expanding your vocabulary, working on nonverbal communications, praying, journaling, traveling, things of that
Mm-hmm.
nature, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end of the day, like I don't know. I read quite a bit, so I don't know.
I used to, and I haven't nearly as much since I had
I'm a
the
phone
little
reader.
one.
I don't even like the book no more. I just my phone.
Yeah, I will too. Yeah, I need to. I really need to make that a priority because I miss like sitting down and reading a book, and I really don't make the time for that like I used to.
I feel like that's something you probably should definitely do.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know, but I feel like people, as time has went on, a lot of people are just starting to get lazy and lazier because social media,
yeah.
online, like
It's easy to just keep scrolling and watching videos.
exactly
Yeah, that's true.
takes away a lot of your time, which is crazy. However, like you should be working on yourself in whatever capacity
Yeah.
that is. Um, Now
Mm-hmm.
I have two relating topics back to back that are probably gonna run into each other.
Okay.
All right, so women should never pursue a man.
Mm.
What are your thoughts on this?
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Don't do that. Cut that out.
Please cut that out.
You gotta let him. You gotta let him show the interest in you.
And the reason why I'm telling y'all to do this is like I'm starting to see more and more videos of I don't want to just call them sassy men, the men that are just making up every excuse not to approach women now.
Mm.
They all bad, they all this, not realizing that, man, your picker is just off, dog. Like
Mm.
I understand like men do chase or they should be chasing. The problem is they are making a conscious decision now not to chase.
Mm.
The problem is we have given them so much access
Mm-hmm.
to the point where as though it's collectively our own fault.
Mm.
Like y'all want to throw sex in their face, y'all want to throw any type of promiscuity in their face. Y'all want to just do all of this stuff that y'all shouldn't be doing. We have created the reason why a lot of women can't go out and like properly date right now because these men are about to start falling back and being super feminine. Like I literally saw one of my favorite comedians the other day literally say this out of his mouth. He sits back and let women come to him. And this is what celebrity men do because they are of a
Oh yeah.
specific status. And almost to that point where as though me and this guy, like, I made a comment, he wanted to go back and forth. I'm not going back and forth with you. I made a statement. And that's just is what it is. You can feel how you feel about it.
Right.
But he pretty much was like alluding to the fact that it's a high value man. So I was like, so his money makes him high value. You don't know anything else about this man besides his money and his status in your eyes.
Right.
Is the fact that he's high value. That's not the only thing that makes a high value man.
No, and for women, what makes you high value is a
No.
lot different than what it is for men. Like That's always been a thing though.
But my thing is putting men on a pedestal. Like,
Yeah,
why are we putting these men that have all this bread on a pedestal?
true.
The problem is gold diggers and women who don't have any self worth. Meaning, like, okay, you can be as promiscuous as you want,
Mm-hmm.
but just know you're creating consequences. Like right now, on the surface, you look like you don't care, but I'm telling you right now that you got a bunch of insecurities that's like brewing.
Mm-hmm.
They're there, and you're choosing to ignore them.
A lot of times,
The
yeah.
thing with men that's taking the "I'm a fall back" approach. Well, there's no good women. No, it's good women out
There
there.
are.
You just don't know what you're doing, and you keep dating the same types of women, which is also your problem.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you want to go for what's easy, what's flashy, what's this, and what's that, but y'all are not dating to find who y'all want to find. So now y'all
Right.
all of a sudden want to start falling back, and I'm telling y'all, like, please don't fall into this nonsense and start chasing these men because it's not going to end how you think it's going to end.
It's really not.
They're not in their masculine provider energy when they do that.
That's true.
So you can go ahead and get caught up out there if you want to, chasing after these men.
Right.
Because you're getting desperate and because society told you that you need to be a mother and a wife by X age. Stop believing that.
Also cut that out.
That's cat.
Stop believing that.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Encouraging women to stay single. And what's the until part? So that encouraging women to stay single until ...
Mm. Ooh. Ooh. Until I don't know. Because I feel like it's so cliche to say until you know your worth, but until you I feel like because like we've said many times, so right, we keep saying people typically right now they're not dating for the right reasons. You're not dating to seek marriage. You're not dating to seek a long time partner, your lifelong partner. So until you're at that point and you've got and when you're ready to find that, when you're ready to let him find you, sorry, because we just said stop pursuing him until then.
I mean, yes, the find you portion of it, yes. But still know that you have a choice to say yes or no. Like our
Absolutely.
job is to make a decision on whether or not we want them or not. Our decision our responsibility is not for us to go out there and find them. But my until would be literally until you are not represented by what you do. So if you're a very successful woman, right? If a man was to sit you down and ask you like, who are you as a person? And the first thing you start describing is your accomplishments. Oh, I make $300,000. I make $500,000. I'm a this, I'm a that. Like describing yourself by what you do and not who you are as a person, you have not grown. And you still have some type of hurt. And it's kind of the generation before us's fault, I want to say. Or maybe even whoever raised Gen X, because
the baby boomers, right?
Yeah, because you got to remember they were oppressed as women for a long time.
Yeah.
Even up leading to the women couldn't have business loans or whatever until like the late 1980s or whatever. So at the end of the day, like didn't get voters' rights until like the 60s. A lot of women depending on their husbands up until a certain point. Because like men want to throw down your throat, like we want somebody that's submissive. Just like way back then, no, they were oppressed in their submission. They had to be overly submissive to an extent.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot of them did.
Like y'all got to figure this thing out. Like you really have got to figure it out. That being said, you cannot be represented by your career. The reason why we feel like that is because being independent got like hammered into us about getting a good career, especially Black women. as a representation by how many degrees black women and how educated black women are now
Mm-hmm.
as a collective. Okay, that's all fine and good, but like, what are you really bringing to the table as yourself? Like, who are you as an individual outside of your career? Outside of all the money you made, outside of all the accolades you got, like, who are you?
That's a good until. That's a good until.
Like, until you can figure that out, you can't pick the man for you. Because every man you run into, and he goes to ask you about who you are and things, and the first thing you say out your mouth is your career. These men, if they're in their provided energy, don't give a damn about your career. I'm
True.
just going to let you know. They might ask you what it is you do, but when they ask you traits and characteristics and things about yourself, and you go to your career and your accomplishments, like, yeah, you're not ready yet, sis.
Mm.
Um,
Damn. Y'all let that one marinate for a second. Pause this and let that marinate.
let it marinate.
Yeah, let that marinate.
All right. Final topic.
Okay.
So this is somewhat of a story time
Okay.
about something I've read and seen online. Put it that way.
All right.
All right. So you can have an opinion at the end of this, but you gotta let me tell you what it is first. So this chick was dealing with a jealous parent, right? So the title of this whole thing is dealing with a jealous parent.
Mm-hmm.
So the girl, I guess her mom's boyfriend was like had been touching on her since the age of 8. He was touching on her from 8 to 13 years old.
He's still living?
Sorry. Oh, got one better. So 13 years old, she no longer lives with the mom. Every now and then she'd come back, stay with the mom, whatever. The mom pretty much like kicked out of the house. At a point.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She has over the years expressed multiple times about the boyfriend and his activities. Okay. Mom pretty much brushed it off, barely acknowledged it, whatever. Come to find out, the mom's boyfriend is also the aunt's husband. He has kids by both her mom and her aunt. So her little sister and the aunt's son are brother and sister, but they also first cousins.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, the thing of the matter is, anytime that she brings up things of the past about the boyfriend, because now all of a sudden the mom overhears like a conversation that was going on between the boyfriend and the now 21-year-old daughter or whatever. She was laying in the room in the house. The boyfriend walks in, and the mom is like listening on the other, on the other side of the wall. And he's just like, he was like, "Could y'all please just stop arguing? Every time you come over here, y'all get into it. Like, there's just a lot going on, whatever." And she's like, "No, I'm not gonna stop having these conversations with her until she acknowledges X, Y, and Z." And that's that. The mom, though, you could tell, and I'm kind of with the girl, because she was like, I don't want to go into every detail on here. She's like, but this is the main gist of the story. I can't talk to her about nothing. Every time I go to talk to her, she throws it back in my face. I was like, yeah, that's a woman that's jealous, because first of all, she kicked you out at 13, knowing that she knew that man was touching on you. She got rid of you so that he wouldn't be inside of her home doing whatever with you. But my thing is this: his nasty ass also had a daughter by the mother. So when she not there and the daughter in the house with him, like, what's going on with the other kid?
I had to pick my jaw up off the floor. Yeah, that's.
Sound like Precious, don't it?
I had that thought. I literally had that thought. It does. And unfortunately, stories like that are quite fucking common.
Oh yeah, the mom would be jealous of the daughter.
Absolutely. And
like the
denial of your child's truth is a freaking epidemic. Like, how are you so desperate for a man that you will not hear, listen to, believe, see the evidence of what your child is telling you consistently for years. You absolutely knew, and you prioritized that man over your daughter.
Yep.
And probably your other children too, and they might not have just said nothing to you yet, because what you'll do to one, you're probably gonna do to the other. Throw him under the jail and then throw her underneath of it with him.
Please and thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, y'all gotta go.
Like y'all got to go.
Y'all gotta go.
Cause there's no way.
That's I can never imagine being so desperate for a man.
But part of me is like the mom knew before probably the first time he touched the damn girl, for you gonna be honest.
Yeah. Children instantly start to show different personality traits and signs. They absolutely do. And you fail them if you don't properly respond. And you remove the person from the home, you remove them from your life, you get the child into therapy. That is the very first thing you have to do. And if you have allowed it to continue, at some point you have to apologize. And that's the thing. That woman is never going to apologize to that child.
Oh, absolutely not.
There's no way.
Well, yeah, we're going to leave y'all with that.
Yeah.
Let us know how y'all feel about that one.
Yeah, if you had to pick your jaw up off the floor, let us know.
Basically.
Because mine.
Oh, man. Well, like, comment,
share,
subscribe.
Come back and see us.
All right, hit that notification bell for us or that follow button on the other platform. Anyway, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Peace.